Hello to all the teachers from learning in the past clips. The teacher also learned about the meaning and importance of a spirit of being a teacher. It is also related to the spirit of teachers. We can see that in the importance of a spirit of being a teacher. All teachers believe that a teacher must have a strong spirit of being a teacher, and being a teacher with a spirit can be reflected in the performance of duties to develop the profession, develop students to discover their own potential and learn effectively. Teachers can see that teachers with the spirit of teachers will be determined. Awareness of the role of a good teacher. In this section, it will be the content of the elements of a teacher spirit, which we can find from the study of many related documents and researches. We will find that in each research, perhaps the details of the elements of a teacher's spirit are somewhat different. However, one thing that is common and similar is probably in the dimension of the broad definition of the word teacher spirit, which is presented on the basis of research that the narrator himself has conducted research on the elements of teacher spirit among Thai teacher civil servants and has analyzed the affirmative elements. The results of the research show that in the structure of the elements of a teacher spirit, the teacher spirit can be divided into a total of 6 elements, which will be the driving force for the content of the presentation of these elements from the point of love and faith in the teaching profession. Love, kindness, goodwill for rights, or even in the dimension of dedication to the organization. Self-development, organizational development, creative collaboration. In this part of the presentation, we will understand the content of each of the 6 subcomponents, starting with the first element of the word teacher spirit, which is a dimension of love and faith in the teaching profession. In the teaching profession, teachers have faith and pride in their profession. And most importantly, teachers will respect the profession they belong to. So we have separated it to show all teachers that in the scope of love and faith in the teaching profession, what will be reflected is expressed either in the dimension of feelings or in the dimension of behavior that is reflected. What dimensions can teachers express? Both in terms of respect. What do you respect? Respect the profession, believe in the profession, do not insult or insult your own teacher's profession. This is an important fundamental thing. After that, it can be seen that another dimension that will be a reflection is, teachers will be proud of their teaching profession. That is, they will be proud to remain in this teaching profession. There is love and faith in the teaching profession, and then there will be another dimension that will be reflected, which is in terms of awareness. Teachers will be aware, and they will have the awareness to be a role model of being a good teacher to students and a good teacher to their colleagues. This is reflected under the awareness of one's own teaching career. This time, let's look at the second dimension in the second dimension. The element or element 2 is quite an element with an important basis because it is an element that is related to the matter of love and good wishes to students, who of course believe that all teachers will have the characteristics according to this second element. The scope of a teacher's expression or feelings reflects that he or she will be a teacher with love and goodwill for his students. It will be in the dimension of kindness, giving opportunities and goodwill to students. Helping learners when they are in need of help is ours. Let's take a look at it one dimension at a time. As for the 3 subnumbers, it will reflect that we have 3 characteristics in the 3 subnumbers. What can be subelements? In the first subdimension, it is about kindness, love, and goodwill towards the students, which is believed that all teachers have already experienced with the students. The teacher will know what the underlying reason for the child's behavior is. The teacher will give the opportunity and look at the student with kindness, and then think about how to adjust the behavior or develop the student on the next opportunity. In the second vertex will be in the dimension of with the right to say disciple. It depends on every routines. Even in the classroom or even outside the classroom, students may have some problems. Teachers reach out to promote in addition to promoting support. The teacher will also have to help the learner when he is in trouble or he needs help. This will be a characteristic of a teacher that reflects that the teacher has love and goodwill for his students. In the last dimension, it is quite a challenging issue and has been widely discussed. That is, it is about the qualifications of teachers that teachers must understand the differences between individuals in the group of learners. This time, let's take a look at what are the differences between learners. Teachers can see that nowadays, when it comes to the differences between learners, differences are made from a variety of criteria and dimensions. It's just that this group of children may have different personalities. This group of children may have different learning styles, or what they call different learning styles. Children's aptitudes are different. Emotions, thoughts, and feelings are different. On the basis of differences, teachers must first understand what dimension these differences come from, the background or life experience of children, for example. Children may have different learning styles, and then teachers will research how to manage learning in accordance with the differences in styles. Learning that teachers experience this is to understand the basics of differences. Then, when the teacher knows that children are different, we may have to analyze the strengths and weaknesses of the learners first to see what they are good at. What do they avoid? What are their weaknesses? What are their strengths? And then gradually start to harmonize the understanding between teachers and students. On what basis is a teacher's open-mindedness to learning and learners? If the teacher can understand this scene, the teacher will see that the problem or even the expression of the student's thoughts, feelings, or behaviors will come from the basis of the difference, from the background experience of the learners. Later, I would like to bring it to the time when the teacher has developed love and faith in the teaching profession. The teacher loves and wishes well for the student. We will come in the third element. This time, a little nudge will be about being a creative collaborator. Of course, the teacher's job is not only in the classroom or with the teacher and the student, but being a creative collaborator looks at the big picture word of the organization, which is the educational institution, the institution to which they belong, the regional level, the ministerial level, or even the network partners who come to drive the development of learners. Creating good competencies, positive communication to whom? Colleagues, parents, communities, and network partners, in promoting and developing the potential of learners to make the most of it. This time, let's take a look at keyword. What are the principles of being a creative collaborator that can be reflected in the teacher's behavior? The ability to work as a team is very important because teachers have to coordinate with the teachers themselves. Teachers have to coordinate with the head of the learning group, and the school management team, or even the school district, will be the level of work in the path that teachers will experience. Nowadays, positive communication is also important to work with teams at multiple levels. This time, positive communication will change or improve the atmosphere of the organization or the atmosphere of work, in terms of training teachers to have positive communication skills, or even it may actually be a problem. But we may have to raise the keywords of the issues that we want to develop and try to drive solutions together. Building relationships for teams at every level. For example, the team at the level of collaborators, the team at the head of a school, or even the team at the partner level, the network, even parents, learners, communities, or government and private organizations that drive activities in our educational institutions, which will be the qualities or attributes that teachers must have. We believe that some problems we may not be able to solve alone. We may need to get the team to come out and brainstorm together to find a way to drive this problem to be solved as a team. This will be part of the third element, which is to be a creative collaborator. Element for the fourth element will be in the dimension of dedication to the organization, this time linked from element 3. If teachers have the characteristics of being creative collaborators, then it is believed that dedication to the organization will be another step that will have the scope of a teacher's expression, which reflects the effort and dedication. In order to achieve the goals of the organization based on loyalty to the teacher professional organization, or even good membership to the teacher professional organization, or the expression of being a teacher who is dedicated to this organization, we will have 3 key words to exchange and learn with teachers what qualities or characteristics will be reflected that will drive us to be dedicated to the organization. We, the teachers, believe that all teachers still have this characteristic, that is, teachers are dedicated and hardworking. They have made efforts to work or even maintain awareness of their assigned roles, duties, and responsibilities. What is the purpose of achieving the results of the organization or the goals of the organization? That is, we must be dedicated to performing the duties of teachers, but it will also be more than the duties of teachers, which are the duties of personnel in the organization. After that, it will be in the dimension of teachers. There will be pride, and teachers will be loyal to professional organizations. It will reflect that the teacher has the intention to work hard for the organization to achieve the goals set by the organization or educational institution on the basis of the scope of good membership behavior for the organization. One day, I will be able to present the word good membership to the organization that they are talking about. If you look at relevant documents or research, you will find that there are many theoretical ideas that talk about good membership in public and private organizations. Today, I would like to present in 5 key word of the qualities or characteristics of good membership to a teacher professional organization. In the first qualification, A teacher must have the qualification of helping a fellow professional or organization. Second, the teacher will have a matter of politeness, humility, and the third is the teacher will have patience, restraint, or restraint of anger first, and talk to each other with principles and reasons. The third characteristic, in addition to patience, will also be transferred to the fourth point, which is that teachers will cooperate with the organization, and finally, most importantly, teachers will have a sense of the role and duties of teachers and the role of teachers in professional organizations. This is also deposited in the legal law of dedication to the organization. Next is the fifth element, which is the commitment to develop students. The scope of the content of the commitment to develop students that all teachers will reflect in their conduct is: teachers must encourage learners to learn to their full potential. The teacher must help learners find their potential first and seek ways to encourage them to drive their full learning according to their full potential on the treadmill of each learner's own identity. This time, let's see what methods or characteristics are required for the determination to develop teachers. It can be seen that teachers should see the importance of developing learners according to their own potential. After that, the teacher will search for and promote ways to support learners to learn, find their preferences, aptitudes, and interests. In each learner, the teacher proposes and inspires him to follow the path according to his aptitude or potential. This time, what will be left in the dimension of commitment to develop students? Of course, the words science and art can be found on the professional path of teachers, so it is left to you that teachers must also take into account the science here, which is to believe that all teachers are already proficient in the content, teaching methods, or even the content in the field of study that they are assigned to manage learning in each subject group. This time, let's look at the matter of the teacher. There must be precepts. The precepts here are art. The art of transferring knowledge to students. What is the art of class management reinforcement? Art and reinforcement art uses psychological principles in learning management to develop and find learners' potential based on the aptitude and interest of learners. This will be in the dimension of commitment to develop students. This is linked to the last point, which can be seen with the determination to develop students. It will also be rooted in love and goodwill for the disciples. What is the basis of the commitment to the development of students? There is love, kindness, and goodwill towards the students. It is believed that all teachers have done their duty fairly and taking into account the rights and dignity of humanity in all learners. We do not violate their rights. We do not encroach. We give justice here. We are fair from the process of learning, measuring and evaluating, or even outside the classroom. If there is a problematic incident, teachers must consider justice first and use the principles of academic reasoning to solve the problems of learners in that group, and let's bring it to the last element. This time, let's look at the teacher's character, and it will be the sixth element, which is the commitment to self-development. The scope of the characteristics of the commitment to self-development, which can be seen that if the teacher already loves and believes in the teaching profession, the teacher will be satisfied, the teacher will be proud of being a teacher, and the teacher will be happy in his work. And that's where teachers will be committed to self-development. Teachers will improve and develop to drive themselves. In the professional path of teachers, they can grow and progress. This time, let's see what teachers can do in the dimension of self-development, which will be one of the important foundations. The first element is love and faith in the teaching profession. If the teacher can be in this position, the teacher will be happy, and the teacher will be satisfied with the current work he is doing. Teachers will be happy in their work if they work creatively. This includes friends, colleagues, or the environment in the school must be jointly driven. It would be impossible for teachers to be happy alone, which is to drive the whole organization. This time, let's see if we are performing our duties to the best of our ability, and whether we have taken advantage of our colleagues. The other thing is that we must first build that we do not take advantage of our official time, work time, or colleagues. We must perform our duties without violating the duties of others. This is important because in the end, it will make the organizational atmosphere in the school drive the development of colleagues will be happy not to be taken advantage of, and we will be happy in developing ourselves. Of course, the teacher teaches the child or the learner, or our right to have the characteristics of learning. I believe that all teachers have the characteristics of learning to improve themselves to see what is the professional progress of being a teacher. In this dimension, there is a matter of improvement. Of course, in our professional path we must first know what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are. Self-directed learning is important to drive learning or self-development for a group of teachers. In order for the teacher professional organization to be developed according to the objectives and achieve the goals, it will reflect one more mirror. That is, if the teacher is committed to self-development. In this dimension, it reflects that the teacher is also showing a good role model to the students, and the students will see that the teacher is constantly improving himself. Even the learning management method or teaching materials, learning management materials, worksheets, teachers have been adjusted. Children will learn about role models. My colleagues in the junior group in the field will see that this is an example of being a person who will improve themselves all the time. This is a lifelong learner. The word is still with all walks of life. Even if we are not in the status of learners, we are creative collaborators. We are one of the professional organizations of teachers. In the next clip, the team of speakers will present in the proportion of details of each element, that under the elements of a teacher's spirit, each element will have a learning reflection. There will be a guest speaker, and there will be a presentation on the development guidelines on how teachers can develop these 6 elements of a teacher's spirit. It will be in the clip video reflection clip. I would like to end the presentation of the content of the 6 spiritual elements of teachers. That's all for the composition, and see you in the next clip. Thank you.